trying to get them nicks out of there. You've got good dull tools. But these are a good project. You see, I'm cutting ground. Learn how to turn left-handed. Fighting it from over here, or learn to turn left-handed. Well, these are spindle gouges. I have a Wolverine jig, and every one of my spindle gouges is sharpened exactly the same. I got it set. I just walk over, sharpen them, sharpen them, sharpen them.
They all the same cut, same degree?
Same degree. On my spindle, roughing gouge, my 1 inch and 3/4 are exactly the same. So if the tool rest is set, you just use it. You'll find one. You'll find a tool that you like, sharpen everything to that tool, and it's your preference. What I do here today, this is the way I do it. If you find an easier, better way, do it. And then come back and show me how you did it. That's all, you know. Nothing is written in stone when you're turning, and it's, you know, it's all handmade. So no two pieces ever come out the same. Sometimes. So you learn how to turn left-handed, and then you get down at this end here, you can just place the saw without hitting your drive. Alright. I use a bigger one to do the ends here. Same thing, I'm just rounding it off. You do what you call riding the bevel. I'm riding this bevel and naturally I just pick it up a little bit and it starts to cut. All your work is done with your right hand out here. If you watch somebody turn, he's always using his right hand. You always want to turn downwind. You turn up, it'll run right up on you. It'll take off like a screw. Then you got to, it's your opportunity for inventing a new design on your piece. Yeah, always turn downhill. And Jim Hilberger, the guy you talked about, I used to go to the Eden Corn Festival, and there'd be this old timer out there turning, and I'd be watching him for a while, and he'd say to me, "You want to learn how to do this?" I'd say, "No, I do flat work." Meet him at the fair, he'd be turning, I'd watch him for a while, he'd say, "You want to learn how to do this?" "No, I do flat work." One day I said yes. Okay. Several $1,000s later, I'm still learning. It turns out Jim and I live about 1.5 miles apart, so it was really easy. He said, "Do you live that close?" And I said, "Yeah." So we got together and started turning. This is done. Not quite, but I'm going to sand this because after I take it out of here, I won't be able to sand it. I use the Beal system of buffing, so they say you only have to sand to 220 grit, and that's all I do. I sand to 220, so it saves a lot of work. But when you got sharp tools, you don't have to sand much either. All right, for those of you who haven't seen this demo before, you guys, there it is, a set of wedges. What I'll do is I'll take this home, I'll take it on my saw and cut it in half. I got a pair of wedges, doors and door wedges. I don't have a big sander at home, I just got a hand belt sander. I turn it upside down the vise and I just run it through there and get the cut marks out of there. I take it over to my sander, or my buffer, and I buff it. Them are only buffed.
Do it on a bandsaw?
No, I do it on table saw. I've got my bandsaw, I have a resawing blade in there, and it's too rough. It really chops it up, so I just cut it on a table saw. You make a pair of the wedges.
That's 2 by 3?
Yeah, pardon?
2 by 3?
It's an 1.5 by 2.
Oh, inch and a
Inch
half.
and a half, and I put little marks in.
No, I mean the thing.
Yeah, 2 by 1.5. You can make them any size you want. See, these are a little steep. If they're thinner, they go under the door farther. So if you're trying to keep the kids out of the bedroom, you can kick that out. So you kind of keep them stiff so they can't get in there.
You know all the tricks.
They hold doors open. This next one, I'll be changing over. We have the rod for this. I'll be changing over to a chuck. This is a thing I do at the fair when I'm tired out and I've been working all day. The rod isn't in here. It's right there. Oh. I'm tired out and people are watching me and I'm tired. I usually make what we call wedding goblets. All right, this is a quick little project. If you have extra wood, you can use, I'll tell you can use limbs off of trees. You can use anything you want to do this one. And limbs off the trees really look pretty good. Oh, come on. Ooh, right on the edge.
Hammer?
Yeah. Maybe I got a small piece. You didn't try these. Yeah, well, I could turn it through the centers, yeah. That's all right.
What happens when you're tired, right?
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, pretty close. Give me a chance, I'll show you how to make a tenon. If you're carrying your tools around, it's nice to put a little tip on there so they don't get dull carrying them around. Here, we'll put a tenon on this. If you watch somebody give a demo and they don't throw chips off a day, they've got dull tools. You shouldn't be showing you how to turn. Because it's sharp is the big thing with these. Guy comes home from playing golf all day, he's been out, gets home late at night, and there's a note tacked to his refrigerator. It ain't working. I'm going home to my mother. So he opens the refrigerator, light comes on, reaches in, grabs a cold beer and says, "What is she talking about? It's working fine." Makes sense, doesn't it? I always work with center if I can. The pieces have less chance to fly out on you if you got them in the center. All right, we'll take that roofing gouge. Smooth this out. Nice chips. one thing Jim Hilberger stresses, if you ever took a lesson from him, you gotta have sharp tools.
And there's the second one.
Practice.
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice. You can watch somebody play the piano for 40 years. After 40 years, you still can't play the piano. This is just about measurements, whatever you feel's right. I undercut this end a little bit at a little angle. Put the tool up against your turning muscle right here, and you just walk with it. The bigger turning muscle you got, the better work you get. There's a guy named Gumbean, he gave a lesson on bowls. That was his thing. He was 400 pounds if he was a penny, wasn't he? That was his lesson. These are fun little things. Like I say, these are things you do at the end of the day when people are standing around, they're trying to guess what you're doing. And they're easy to make. There's no dimensions. You don't have to worry about blowing through or a bowl exploding on you. You notice I'm not wearing a face shield, but when I do bowls, I wear face shields. I've been really hit hard by exploding bowls. Jake busted all the lights on his shop one time with a bowl exploding, huh, Jake? They detonate, I'll tell you.
Pat, what's the name of that space shield that I told you guys to get?
Bios.
You notice I always turn it off before I move. I don't do that at home. You should always turn the light off when you move your tool rest around. It's getting to look like something now, huh?
When you fall off that one, it doesn't hurt.
It's gonna chatter all the way through it. Turn it down. I'll sand this up. I'm gonna put a little sanding sealer on this too, because once I cut it off, I won't be able to do that. It's got a little bit of a bump there. I like to turn at high speeds too. You'll get used to turning at high speeds. The sand at lower speeds, but you should turn at higher speeds. Lacquer sanding sealer. I can't use it in the shop at home because it's in the basement. But I figure you all don't mind.
Do you blend your own or just pour it in a little jar if you need it?
Yeah,
It's out of the standing sealer.
What's that?
it's out of a gallon jug. Yeah. I put it in glass so when you drop it on the floor, it breaks easy. I always cover your lathe because this stuff will be all over it. There's a girl named Bonnie Klein. She's got a video here. It's a great video if you're a beginner. But she's got a formula she uses: linseed oil, shellac, alcohol. Great
Third and a
finish.
third.
Yeah, third of each. It's a great finish just for if you're gonna do stuff like this. And she's got a great video too. She does, it's a great learning video. Tore the bed sheets off to get that today. Till I get home.
Does Marge know yet?
We will when I get home. At the fair, I usually have a deck of cards with me, and sometimes little kids come by and I do a little card trick with them. My wife will have a card in her pocket, and the kid will come by and I'll do a card trick, and I'll turn the card over and say, "Is this your card?" No. "Is this your card?" No. "Oh, wait a minute. You see that girl way down there? See what's in her pocket." She'll go down and she'll pull out the kid's card, All right. I got one done here. Mushrooms. They love them. I don't know why girls buy them from me, and put them around their house, I guess. This you could take off with your, this little nub here, you could take off with a spindle gouge here, as long as you don't cut your stomach there.
Can I ask a beginner question?
Yep.
When you cut that off, could you just use a hacksaw blade? That's,
I do on most things. I
Okay,
cut them
I
off
didn't-
with a hacksaw.
okay.
Especially stuff that you don't want to fly across the room. I get down so small, I hack them off. And I power sand everything, so I got a little drill motor with a disc on it. I just sand it off.
Well, I didn't know if that was safe or not.
Well,
Be
no,
sticking
when
the blade in
stop,
there.
just take a hack, when you get
Well, I
down to
mean,
like a nub like
if it's
that.
running.
I'd get it down to a nub like that and just hack it off, yeah. You get a catch in your saw, go flying out.
Well, yeah, that's why I was asking.
All right,
Learn from your mistakes.
yeah, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Oh, wisdom.
Yeah, if you see somebody doing something right, copy it, because he's done it wrong for years to figure out how to do it right. I gotta turn another piece down. This one, Pat, this idea Pat gave me. Do this center. Yeah, Pat gave me this idea at the last meeting, at Turner's One, and, I said, yeah, I'll work on it, so I worked on it.
Did you figure it out by the 12th hole?
I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I figure this stuff out. It's unbelievable.
What kind of wood is that?
This is maple, but we have a member of the club that, these are rejected baseball bats. There's a member in the club that came to a meeting and said he had it. So we got it,
That was last year, wasn't it?
yeah,
Jim,
somebody.
I have to look it up in the minutes.
This is out next to Pat.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right next door, about 20 miles away.
No, it ain't that far.
It's around the
Well,
corner.
there's a sign there, Pittsburgh, 4 miles.
No, this is about 2-3 miles from Pat.
Down dirt roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's off Pat's on, it's a dirt road.
That's where our July meeting's going to be.
Yeah, and that's a
On the
good,
dirt road.
yeah, he's a great turner and he does a great demo.
Oh,
It's a
does he
good,
ever?
yeah.
Does he ever?
If you don't go to any more meetings, that's the one to go to. He's really a good turner, excellent turner.
Prince.
Yeah, Prince.
Yeah, Jim Prince. Jim Prince.
Yeah, he's on the fair board out there, do you know that?
Huh?
He's on the fair board out there in Dunkirk, at the Dunkirk Fair.
Yes? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Has been for years.
Sorry, that's me. That's me, I'm sorry.
All right. I didn't do this on my mini, so I hope I have room to do it. I gotta drill a hole in it.
Yeah, you're right, I'm right.
You know, I have a mini lathe, but I work on my bigger lathe all the time, and I forget that sometimes you don't have 5 feet, you know? I should change this belt too, for drilling. Get a little more torque. You use your lathe or drill press? Check the depth here. Long way.
What size Forstner are you using?
Well, it doesn't really matter because if you start making them, you're gonna make it to what fits. And your depth will change and your crossing width will change. I have a mini jet like this, and I forked it so many times that my reset is burned up. Just keep popping every time I get it in the screen. Oop. Hopefully it tightens down. Yeah, a little bit, quarter inch. Yeah, if I was doing this at home, this would have been all done already, you know, you get a little more horsepower. That's deep enough, okay. By the way, them are hot when you take them out.
I was a little surprised that you took it like that.
That's what men do, they don't show the thing. That's it for the drilling.
Do you always do the small one before you do the big one?
Yeah, because I want to counterboard that. And, this is, in progress. I'll face this off, clean this all up. This is a one-way center that has all different cones with it. They're aluminum, but if you touch aluminum with your spindle gouge, it gouges that and dulls this, so I put a wood end on it. And you can do that same thing with the centers from here. From the one-ways, if you have a small one-way, look at that center here, yeah. You can bore a piece like this, and just so it's a pressure fit on there, jam it in there, stick it up to the drive center and make a point on a big wood point on there, for like I did here. Just jam it on here. That's all you gotta do.
Does the center pin come out of that?
Yeah, the center pin will come out of here too.
Yeah,
You
I
can knock these
knocked
out.
the center pin out
Yeah.
and fit a piece right in where the center piece
There's
was.
your center pin, comes right out. You can just use the cone if you want to, without the center.
But I made wooden cones
Yeah, they'll fit over.
to go
Yeah.
right in where the center is.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
punched
use
that
that,
out.
sure.
Yeah.
I thought you broke it.
face this off without turning it around. All right. Now this is the nice part about having two chucks. I'm gonna be putting these jaws, these are spigot jaws, inside of here. And I got plastic on here, little tubing, so it doesn't mar it up inside of here. It'll just be in there. No, I think I screwed that up. Yeah, I gotta taper this first. Getting a little ahead of myself. Working too fast. I gotta taper this in, little bevel, little taper on this from this cut here that I put in there to that bottom down there that I put in. You won't be able to see it, but I'm doing it. And you know, you can use ball gouges, spindle gouges on a small job like this with this as well. Yeah, Pat was at Turner's one meeting as we were leaving. She says, we'd like to learn how to make these, or we should make these. Well, we are. Now, what you could do, because I'm right up against here, you could either put a block of wood in there for a spacer, or you can take them, it's old CD discs, plastic discs, bore a hole in there and put it on there so you don't hit your chuck. You know, just a little way to get away from banging up your chuck. Or your tools too. I'm gonna try and be real delicate here. My cutoff tool. My cutoff tool. This is like at my shop at home. I was telling guys that I use a rubber mallet to drive in my drive centers, you know, and I always put it in the same spot so I can just gotta reach over and it's there. Well, it's not there. So I looked all over my shop, down to my barn. I looked out in my garage. I even rode around the yard looking. Maybe I had walking with it and dropped it in the yard. I could not find it. So I bought another one. About 2 weeks or a week before we go to Florida, we're putting all of our lawn stuff away and everything like that, doing everything. My wife said, sit down here on the swing. So we're sitting there swinging. She said, what's that up on the roof? Oh, that's my hammer. She says, I'm not even gonna ask. I was working on the gutter up there, and I was driving in trying to straighten up a bent gutter, and I had a block of wood, and I was straightening it up, laid it down, took the block of wood, and walked away. a different way. This one I'm making a little different from the ones I made at home. Let me change this back for a second. I know you're sick of me changing my tools around here, but I made 3, 4 different designs on it. This is a different design I decided to try tonight. So, whoop. I'll go this end a little bit here. Main Street. That's why you don't want to take stuff out of a chuck. It never goes back to the same spot. The other pieces I made, I turned this around and did all this work. This one seems to work better this way. Is it hot in here? So you got it. I'll show you a little trick that, I don't know who taught us this, but it works good for it. Oh, I think the guy from Pennsylvania that does the chainsaws told us a little trick about burning the end of these things.
Talking about Dennis?
The guy, the steel, yeah.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, yeah, he showed us how to put, burn the end grain instead of, like instead of with a wire. A lot of guys paint the ends of these so that they know what they're using. I don't, so I'm always looking for what I'm using. What's nice when you don't have a design, you can freestyle and make anything you want.
That's the third rule of turning. You never tell anybody what you're making.
That's right. Right. And it always turns out right, right?
That's right.
Yeah, see, you could take a saw now and just cut this off, which I would do if I was doing a bowl or something and I had, wanted to make sure it didn't take off on me. But, we're brave tonight. If you want to take a good lesson, you take a lesson from Jake too. He's probably one of the best turners you'll ever see right there. Yeah, as soon as he gets his eyes fixed, he'll be all right.
No.
Flower pot.
Whenever you make something, you always want to make your bottoms concave. The wood starts to swell or anything like that, this wood will start to warp, it'll be uneven. It's like a 4-stool bar stool. It'll always wobble, unless you got a 3-stooler, it'll always be stable. If it does start to warp, you just take a little sandpaper and rub it, and you only gotta sand that little bit, get a little ring around it. All right, one more little trick here. You always should decorate the bottom of your bases, because every time somebody picks something up, they look at the bottom. They never look at the top. So the guy,
First thing you do, you pick it up and turn it over.
they turn it over, look at the bottom. The guy from Pennsylvania taught us how to do this. He put a little burn in here.
What are you using to do that?
Samples from Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah?
They're free. They give you all you want.
Hardware store.
Yeah, hardware, yeah. See,
Is it on tile or?
yeah, it's just a piece of linoleum. Kitchen
For
set.
Micah.
For Micah. We do burn these with a wire. You can burn this and put a burn in here, but you can't do the ungreen unless you have these. But it does that. And put a little sand on there. All right. This experiment is over. Now Pat's design she showed us was similar to this, but these are windowsill planters. And what they did with the one she showed me, they painted these like bright red or yellow or stuff like that. But just a little quick thing, different and practical. You can put, if you know a wood carver, I got some more here. I got some that I made, other ones I made. You know a wood carver, he can make you those. The guys, the carvers at the fair make those, so. Yeah, I got some others.
They also have small plastic cups about this big that will fit inside of that.
Yeah,
So you can
I got-
actually put a plant in.
Yeah, I got these at Walmart, they were 30 cents. So, This is laminated wood, there's a laminated piece of wood on there.
How did you turn it? We had trouble turning it end ways.
Sharp tools. That's it. It does,
It
it
shattered a
does,
lot.
certain ones that you'll get dust off and then you get a hard spot. This is kind of rough because there's like the brown, they're harder than the blues and greens. So, that's what I make.
Carpet.
Yeah, wood carvers, they make these out of sticks. So, that's about it. It's a quick job.
We see it again?
Yeah, I got more wood. But these are easy projects, you know? Just,